Hello folks, welcome to RCIC. In today's video, we'll be discussing current affair topic presented to you by faculty Sushma KP. So what is the topic that we are going to be looking into today? What is Canada's RCIC scheme and how is it going to help the international students with expiring work permits? In this video, we'll be seeing into as to why is it in use, what is the relevance of it to UPSC, that is your GS paper 2. We'll be looking into postgraduate work permits and also we'll be discussing about your RCIC scheme. Let's get started. Recently, Canada has come up with RCIC scheme and this is coming as a major help or a boost for worrying Indians who are residing in Canada. What do I mean by this? Now, look at this. Your postgraduate work permits, Canada has announced that more than 7.6 lakh work permits are expiring. Now, this is a major cause of stress for Indians because of almost the international students that Canada receives, 40% of them are from India and majorly from Punjab. Now, this postgraduate work permits, when they expire, and these people, if they don't immediately find high-paying jobs, then they cannot have permanent residence. This is a major cause of worry, which means they will lose their permits and they cannot stay there. This became a huge issue. But in December 2024, Canada came up and announced this RCIC scheme, which removed that major stress, or this RCIC scheme is one way where these people can find a way to stay in Canada. Now, what is this RCIC is what we will be discussing. According to your RCIC scheme, this offers hope as PGWPs nears expiry, meaning your post-graduation work permit ka expiry has come na, like we just discussed. For them, this RCIC is coming as a relief. What is this RCIC scheme is what we will be discussing. Now, RCIC means Rural Community Immigration Class, otherwise your RCIC scheme. Here Canada has found out in its rural areas surrounding big cities like Vancouver, Ontario. Yeah. In Canada, they found out your bigger cities like Vancouver, Ontario, surrounding those areas, there are smaller rural areas which comprises of small communities which is having issues of labor force. They are having an issue of labor force. So what this RCIC scheme, or your, as the name states, Rural Community Immigration Classes, they are willing to bring in a section of people, that is your international students, who will come here, settle here, work here. But one thing is, they have the intent to settle in these regions for long term. Okay? When they settle here for long term, the objective met is A, the labor force issue gets solved. B, it boosts in economic development. And third, it helps with population boost. So all these three criteria can be met with this rural community immigration class. Now who will be the one who will be giving this? That is your Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. This will be the body who will be giving this. Now we will see, yeah, just because RCIC is there, can everyone go join in? No, there are certain qualifications and criteria needed to apply for this. We'll see what are those. Where are these communities located? We saw they are the smaller communities or smaller rural areas adjacent to big cities. The motto of this is long-term settlement there, which will boost the population. This will also boost the economic development and address labor force challenges. This we have discussed. What is the eligibility or the criteria that has to be met? First, from the education level, you should be 10 plus 2, that is 10th, 12th or secondary education completed. Then one of the condition is at least in whichever rural community you are going to go reside to, minimum to minimum at least 18 months you should have studied in there. Otherwise, for international students who have not studied there, for them, if they meet other criteria, this can be waived. Now, the job offer when they get to go and live in this rural communities, they have to first get a job offer there with the intent of settling there for longer terms. And that job offer has to be submitted while giving for your permanent residency. That time, your permanent residency will become more easier when you have proper work permit, that is a job offer coming from your local rural community, and supporting documents have to be provided. You should have relevant work experience, but again this can be waived off if you are an international student and meet other criteria mentioned. And one main thing is the language proficiency should be as per your Canadian language benchmark. One main thing is also your financial proof. You have to submit the financial proof that you are at least, look at this, in this rural community that they are going to be residing into. There is some benchmark as to this is the low income here in this particular community. Now you, if you are going to go live there, you have to provide the financial proof that you have at least half of this so that you can sustain for an year. Understanding? And one main thing is they have mentioned that you have to mention a clear intent, that is reason to reside. Why are you going to be residing there? You should provide a clear intent. So these are all some of the basic and important eligibility criteria to be applying for rural community immigration class. This comes as a huge benefit to international students and especially your Indians. Why? See, first and foremost, unlike your bigger cities, like we mentioned Vancouver, Ontario and all, where the competition is higher. Whereas this, in rural areas, the competition is less. So you have a chance to develop. And second thing, as we mentioned, of the 7.6 lakh or each time if you have to put in a category of Canada international students, 40% are Indians. So this comes as a huge relief for Indian international students who want to get permanent residence in Canada and whose postgraduate work permit are expiring. Understanding? This is it for the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share it along with your friends. Thank you.